So once again, a transgender athlete is dominating women's sports, raising more questions about the fairness of the competition. Listen to this. 22-year-old transgender woman Leah Thomas, previously Will Thomas, is a swimmer at the University of Pennsylvania and has already shattered numerous college records, including 3 earlier this month at a competition in Ohio. But it's no surprise. Before transitioning, Thomas was Will Thomas, a male swimmer at the school for 3 years. Now he's competing against females, and Thomas is, of course, crushing the competition. University of Pennsylvania parents are outraged by this, and they've written a letter to the NCAA demanding the rules be changed. Its current policy allows transgender students to compete without gender-confirming surgery as long as they identify as that particular gender. So nothing is being done about it, and biological males will continue dominating women's sports. Madison Kenyon is a college track athlete who also competed against biological males. She joins me now to share her story along with her attorney, Kristen Waggoner. Thank you both for being with us. I should say that while Leah Thomas hasn't had gender-affirming surgery, he did have a year's worth of, I believe, hormonal treatment, which is what the NCAA requires in many situations. But Madison, it doesn't change the biological fact that he's a man. He went through puberty as a man. He has muscle, structure, and everything through 22 years of his life as a man. And Madison, you've competed against this exact situation in track. You've competed against transgender athletes.
Yeah, I think I missed your question because it glitched. Do you mind asking it again?
Yeah, sure. Would you tell all of us watching right now, what is it like to go into a competition against a transgender athlete when you know the outcome ahead of time?
Yeah, it's extremely deflating. I've experienced it 5 times, and each time I lost to a biological male. And the fact that that's still happening, that women are still losing to biological males in their own sport, shows why we need more female athletes to speak up about this. And so I just kind of want to say to the female athletes in Pennsylvania, don't let anyone silence you. Speak up. Tell the NCAA, your athletic directors, and your coaches that you want fair competition, because doing this is nowhere near as scary as it seems, and the amount of support is overwhelming.
Madison, I'm just curious. You ran track, right? What was your event?
So I did the 3K in indoor track and the 1500, and I also ran cross country.
Yeah. And when did you start running? When did you start competing in track? How old were you?
I think you asked me what event I did, but again, it glitched. I'm sorry, you're going to have to ask the question. I don't know what you asked.
I'll ask you one more time. We'll see if we can work through this glitch. How old were you when you started training for competition in track?
Oh, I started cross country in middle school and track in high school, so around 14.
So you started training at the age of 14, and within a matter of, I would assume, a couple of months, a biological male stepped in and beat you after all of your years of training?
Yeah, so my first collegiate race, I raced against a biological male, and they beat me.
It's somebody, to your point, Janet Evans, Missy Franklin, Katie Ledecky, somebody has to step up and say this is not right. This is not right. Mrs. Waggoner, I'd love to get you in on this. I mentioned what the NCAA rules are about hormonal treatment, and, different states at the high school level have different laws. What should the laws be when it comes to this?
They're simple. The law should be that biological women compete against biological women, and the NCAA policy doesn't require the University of Pennsylvania to deny a fair playing field to women. It doesn't require that at all. In fact, what it's doing is prioritizing activists over women athletes, and by denying them a fair playing field, they're refusing again to recognize legitimate biological distinctions, and that hurts women and girls the most.
And I think many are guided by empathy, but they're prioritizing empathizing with one individual over the hundreds, the thousands of Madisons out there that have trained their entire life. It's very selective in where you apply your empathy. And by the way, it's the end of women's sports.